That
was mine.
Who was phoning in the middle of a live stream?
Just got a message.
At the very beginning of a live stream.
I'll turn the sound on.
It's going to be one of those evenings, I can tell. It's a bad start.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Effect Podcast YouTube channel. I'm sure nobody's looking because I only told people we're going to be playing here about 10 minutes ago. But if you are here, then enjoy the show. It's been a couple of weeks since we were last doing this, or to be precise, almost 3 weeks since we last sat down for this adventure. And so it being 3 weeks, it's the time-honoured turning to Tony to say, what the hell happened last session?
Yeah, okay. So, as I did mention, my notes weren't that comprehensive. We went to the Hammam Tamina. I can't remember how we got the.
That was where the woman Niobe
Hassam.
We found her dead.
Yes,
but still bleeding. So recently dead.
Yep, with a communicator.
And her device had a message to
Tubra from someone called Tubra, saying meet at Hammam Tamina.
Yeah. So we kind of went in there boots first. Didn't get the warmest of welcomes, as I recall. In fact, she stabbed apparently. Not bad.
Yeah,
tis but a scratch.
After you slammed her up against the wall and
just a flesh wound,
I think.
Yeah, but she could have just told us where the bloke was, really.
So there was something about on the message was something about waiting for payment from Dol Kassar. Dol Kassar is a Dabran nobleman.
That is true. And he went and checked out his residence.
Who lives in somewhere called Dignitary City, which is
an
old name for Little Algol.
Which, if you like, at the heart of Little Algol.
So we went to check out his palace in Little Algol, which is being prepped for the wedding of his son to the fifth daughter of someone called Aidan Dinrama, who is from a family who lives in the Monolith.
Yeah, it's quite a social climb for them, wasn't it? I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a Zenithian hegemony family that you were vaguely aware of when you rolled culture, I think.
Yeah, because he wore the same face paint as Johar Kassar, who was a Zenithian ambassador on Coriolis that we knew of.
And appears to have taken the name as well, that he calls himself Din Kassar, but you think he's Algolan, I think.
He's kind of pretending to be a Zenithian in order to social climb.
However, you weren't particularly seeing a way in there and went back to, I guess, your aunt's, Tony, feeling quite dejected, I should say.
Rejected. Well, being rejected can, make you feel quite dejected.
It can be, yes. Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
So I have now told everybody where we are and that we are streaming. So that's my job done.
What, for the next hour and a half?
Great. Yeah, I'm just going to sit back and watch you guys make all of yourselves as usual. Okay. What are you doing? I mean, you may choose to go home for the night and start afresh in the morning, or what?
Did we work out when the wedding was?
Yes, at a dramatically appropriate time within the next couple of days, I think.
Okay. So we can go and have a good night's sleep, and I can get rid of my 1 point of hit point damage.
Yeah,
is that how the wedding?
Go and have a good night's sleep, because
is that what it says on the wedding invitations?
We haven't seen any invitations.
The dramatically appropriate time.
But it's it's at least tomorrow. I think I said it was 2 days from now. I can't quite remember.
So our objective in this situation, Tone, is presumably to talk to Dol Kassar. So how did the lead get to Dol Kassar again? I can't remember. What was the connection?
There was a message. One of the messages of the community was about waiting for payment from Dol Kassar. The invoice for the slaves that we had previously found was addressed to Q, which could be Dol Kassar, because that starts with Q.
Yes, the real clue to there was the reply to the message inviting Hassan to the hammam, saying, I'm just waiting for Dol Kassar to bring the money.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And then she was killed. So does that mean Dol Kassar turned up without the money and killed her instead of giving her the money in payment for...
Well, there does seem to be quite a lot of covering up going on, because the wharf was burnt down with poor Noor in it. And now Niobe Hassam is dead. So this guy is basically covering his tracks.
And Tubra appears to be in hiding.
In the hammam somewhere, which I'm tempted just to burn down anyway, just out of bitch. All I did was ask her some questions, and then she stabbed me.
And slam her against the wall by her throat, I seem to remember.
Well, that's the way in my neck of the woods where we ask questions.
Cool. What is your
she's being culturally insensitive. That's what she's doing.
That's how we do things up on me.
Yeah, exactly. My manipulation is shit.
All right. Well, that's why you slammed it against the wall.
It's 3 in
what's
total.
Yours?
I have 6 dice of.
Maybe you should let Dave do the talking.
Tony
do the talking, Dave.
He's Dave. I'm Tony. Remember?
Yes, I remember.
Barely.
Barely. Yes. I'm 53. You know, I don't have to remember these things. People I've known since school.
Like you, and you. Yes.
So the next morning dawns early with a call to prayer from all the local chapels. And
have we gone through the cremation ceremony for the second cremation ceremony for Noor? Sorry, that was a bit low.
That was a bit unnecessary, to be honest.
That was player to player, not character to character.
I think the last thing you did was she was taken to the chapel of the Our Lady of Tears, and the sisters of that order were preparing her for cremation.
Yeah.
Do you want to do that? Do we want to have a...
It's up to Yaqub, really, or whether we want to chase down the lead whilst we've got it.
I think there's time for the morning. I think we should chase down the lead while we've got it. We just need to decide what our plan is. So this wedding is happening in a couple of days.
Well, it seems like an opportunity to get in, doesn't it? Using in some, we can maybe try and pretend to be, I don't know,
caterers.
Yeah, we don't really look like caterers, do we?
No, probably not.
Flower arrangers or something.
Not sure we look like your typical florist either.
No. That was the word I was looking for, florist, not flower arranger. I'm as bad as Matthew.
Hey, what's my name? Nurse?
Hey! Anyway, this is really, really good really good TV.
This is exactly what Millie the GM watches us for.
Excellent. Hi, Millie. Right. So what could we? We could pretend to be.
Well, she wouldn't go in our normal detective gear. We'd have to get the gear if we're going to be caterers.
Normal detective gear. What does a normal detective wear?
A long trench coat.
A little hat. Video watch.
Well, I need something to hide all my carbines under.
Well, let me just while you're thinking about that,
all three of them.
Remind you that you also have a network of contacts that you've built up over the previous 22 episodes, some of whom may be of help if you want to consider those.
True. And we do have our talent as well, which is a friend in every port.
Which you've used already for Tony's aunt.
In this scenario?
In this adventure, yeah.
That would have been really useful. Because our friend in every port could have been Dol Kassar.
Yeah, we could say,
one of the major NPCs. No.
Damn. That would have been interesting, though. We could have heard of Shoda. Anyway, we're not getting this scenario going anywhere, are we? So, well, we were talking about reporting back in, weren't we, to whatever her name was, who's paying us to do this.
Yeah, the judge, whatever, on Coriolis.
Yeah. The judge or the justicar? Adjudicator, I mean. Not
probably the adjudicator in the first instance.
Yeah, we probably wouldn't be dealing directly with the judge.
I think only go direct to her if all else has failed and we're in some deep shit.
Okay, so you want to
let's report in, yeah.
Okay, what do you tell her?
Are
you wanting to speak to her live, as it were, or send her a message?
Yaqub, you're the brains, sweetheart.
Well, I think we'd tell her, the truth, probably. Yeah, we got involved in an insurgency in some village in the jungle.
We might not tell all of that truth, possibly. Only relevant.
So
we'll tell her we tracked the.
She might be surprised to find that we're not on Coriolis anymore for a start.
No, I think they know you're not on Coriolis because you reported back the others reported back while you were in hospital, Dave.
Okay.
For
exposure to vacuum, yeah.
So we'll report that we tracked the pods down to the surface. They were linked to slave traders who we've tracked to Bay Basin and wherever we are now in the Algol. It's an Algol.
Algol in the conglomerate.
The trail seems to be leading to this minor, socially climbing noble called
Dol
Kassar. And we're now planning our next move on him, which we don't quite know what it is yet.
Okay.
He seems quite high profile and very well protected.
So the initial message you get back after the cremation ceremony is, it came in during, but obviously, you had the decorum not to look at your communicator while the ceremony was going on. And it's a short message. It says, continue the investigation no matter the costs. We are onto something much bigger than just the whereabouts of the mystics. The missing nightingale must be found. Without its song, all is lost.
And is this just a message, or are we having a conversation?
No, this was just a message. You could phone her up and there'll be a little bit of delay from here to Coriolis, but you can have a two-way message if you so desire.
Yeah, it's just in orbit around this planet, isn't it? So
yeah.
So even
it's not. Yeah, it's going to be a 1 second delay.
Yeah.
So do we, from the tone of that, do we take it that, as they said in the Blues Brothers, the use of unreasonable violence in the apprehension of the Blues Brothers has been approved?
What it says is, no matter the costs.
So that's just a pre-approval of all our expenses, isn't it? Surely. But whatever we deem appropriate.
Can we get
that may be an opportunity to do that?
Can we get a forward? Can we get an advance on our expenses then?
This seems to have come with Judge Kurahan's authorization.
Does this count as some form of official warrant for what we're doing?
No.
No.
The whole point of you being used is you're not official.
Yeah, I know. Okay. But she's basically saying we can do what the hell we like to achieve this.
She's saying no matter the costs.
Yeah, exactly. No matter the costs. So no matter the
and
costs.
we're interpreting that.
We can gun down anybody we like.
Yeah, it doesn't say.
I'll tell you what she's saying. You can decide to take away whatever message you like.
It does seem to imply that murdering people has been approved.
Right. Possibly. It may simply be, don't worry about budgeting your expenses.
No, that's true. Fair enough. Well, if I do start murdering people, I will have some very big legal expenses that I'll need paying for.
Well, there is that, yes.
So, yeah.
So are you going to trudge the streets and wear down your leather and ask around about any of the leads you've got? Or are you going to send a message back saying, no matter the cost, can you get us an invite to the party?
Is that a subtle hint from the GM?
I'm not offering any subtle hints. This is the sort of crazy stuff that I would do if I were a player, but I was a player this morning on the Ghazali, and you don't want to be there, mate. Let me tell you, right now, you don't know. Right now, in the past,
right. I might rather be there than in the cold vacuum of space, possibly.
I think we might all be in the cold vacuum of space shortly, but there we go.
Anyway. So we obviously need to get access to this guy. So we could do a little bit of...
I mean, do we initially want to try and get into his house and have a look around and try and find any documentary evidence? Or do we just want to... Because he's not going to... Again, he's not going to... Like, so he's well protected. He's not going to confess up and say, yeah, I'm a slave runner. I've got the emissaries down here. There you go.
That is very true. It probably doesn't hurt just to do some discreet asking on the street. And then... So why don't you go and pound the street and do some investigation shit, and I'll go and have a look at the security and that at the actual palace and see if there's a way in.
And go and check into the most expensive hotel in town. Now we've got our
yeah, exactly.
No matter the cost. We've got unlimited expenses approved.
We'll do that in a fortnight after we've lived it up for a while.
Right. So who's doing? Tony, you're going back to the streets, as it were.
I'm going back to the streets that I probably know quite well because I'm from around here.
Yes, this is your hometown. Remember, Tony?
Yes.
Or actually, in a more civilized bit, Ara is your hometown. But Little Algol isn't that far away. As usual, you see. You're both walking that way, aren't you, actually? Yeah. So after you leave the ceremony and say goodbye to your aunt and any family members that came, you walk back across the park to Little Algol. And again, you'll notice the Nastira Defense Forces checking everybody, going back and forth, not asking for papers or anything, but clocking everybody. They're all armed. And you're reminded that your contact in the last adventure gave you the name of some allies here for getting back to the ship.
Yeah. Yala Baku.
And then you split up, and Tony, you go to the Souk Habra, do you?
Well, I think I just kind of go around, to the souk and to probably a couple of any bars or hammams that might be around, other than Tamina's.
Not the one you got thrown out of, I'm assuming.
No, not that one.
Okay.
I'll go back and apologise for my associate.
Oh, well, that may be a shortcut to the adventure. Just saying. You want me to drop hints? Okay, and Dave, you're going towards the.
I'm going to go up to the
big
palace
city.
and basically scout it out for its defenses, its security. Is there an easy way in that I can see to get in without being spotted? That kind of stuff.
Okay, let's do you first then, Dave.
Okay.
Security does look tight. Last time you looked at it from a distance. You could see there were gardens around it, all being doled up. But you'll notice as you watch that staff going in and out are being checked and handing over ID tags and stuff like that.
Right.
It's not simply a matter of putting on a white coat and pretending to be a waiter. What else can I tell you?
These tags that I say, are they sort of electronically read, or are they just like
yeah, they're electronically read. They're the sort of like the money tags you guys use,
right,
to do money, but they're obviously got some sort of clearance thing on them, and they explain who they're for.
Is there
Let's
any kind of...
come back to you, because I can't find anything more to tell you, but I can find some stuff to tell Tony. Tony, what sort of stuff are you asking as you pound the streets?
Well, I guess I'm asking about Dol Kassar, about his business, what people know about it, what they've seen.
Okay. Can I get you to make a manipulation roll? Just get a success. Or more successes, of course.
Okay, I've got one success there. How many darkness points have you got these days?
Do you want me to count my darkness points? I always like doing that.
There are a lot.
11, 11, 16, 19. It's gone down a bit.
It's not as many as I expected, actually.
Still quite a lot, but I think I might push this anyway.
Oh no, 20. The full 20. I've got the full 20.
I have another one. Oh, bollocks. No, I get no more successes. So you have a darkness point, but I still only get one success.
Okay. So generally, the people you're speaking to have a very low opinion of Dol Kassar. They call him the smuggler prince, but they try and stay out of his business. And they recommend that you do that too. Can I get you to make an observation roll?
I get one success on that as well. I'm not going to push that.
Okay, well, I will say that you notice by one of the places you visit, you notice a woman sitting who you recognize. When you went into the warehouse, the burning warehouse, there were a number of sort of scavengers around there waiting for the fires to go down to see what they could find. And you recognize this woman, and the thing that catches your eye is she is currently sitting on two of the same sort of liquid coolant containers, or containers of the same sort of liquid coolant that you saw in the warehouse. It was giving off that strange smell. Then it's coolant that's used in the pods.
Is it the neodymium?
No, that's a metal that's used in the pods.
Right,
but
okay.
You remember you used your environmental scanner. You picked up a mixture of chemicals, and one of the chemicals that picked up was the liquid that they use in what's the word?
Stasis pods,
cryostasis, which of course they've been transporting the slaves in.
So she's sitting. This is just like in some.
Yeah, she's kind of
she's sitting on the
literally sitting on smoking some arash. Now you're a little bit confused by this because your first impression would be that she might have stolen these from the warehouse, but the ones you saw, of course, were all blackened by fire or indeed exploded and leaking the stuff all over the place, and these are relatively clean.
Where did she get them from then?
And it looks like they're hers. She hasn't just randomly found them somewhere and sat on them. So whereabouts is she? Is there somewhere I can go and sit or hide out and keep an eye and watch her without being observed?
How common are these things? Are they kind of everyday things? Or are they really quite rare and quite specialized?
Yeah, I think you'd think they were quite specialized.
So I guess if we're saying that they had a place where they were keeping,
if you were at a spaceport, they'd be common because, of course, stasis beds need them, and spaceships have stasis beds. They're not like two tins of propane gas which might be used in all sorts of places. They are quite unusual to see down here.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, Tone, if they've got a second place where they've been holding these people up and it's not been destroyed, and she's nicked these from there, that might be another lead for us, mightn't it?
Yeah, so I wonder whether she's nicked them and strolling off with them, or whether she's taking them
if she was
under instruction.
If she was a scavenger, yeah, true.
That's true.
If she was a scavenger at the other place, then maybe she was a scavenger, like a thieving little scavenger thief who's broken into somewhere and nicked these from the the stasis chamber of the emissary, maybe, or of the Nightingale, as he's been referred to earlier.
Yeah, that's a valid point. In which case, I should probably just talk to her.
Yeah.
Okay, how are you going to approach her? Slam her up against the wall?
Yeah, I'm going to take out my Vulcan carbine and say, "Don't move me, you're dead." I'm not doing that.
I'm advising over the intercom. Why don't you grab her by the throat, put the gun in her face?
Although she might have a knife or something.
So what is your approach going to be?
Is she like in a bar or something?
No, she's kind of sitting on the street, as it were, smoking arash. She looks like she might be waiting for somebody or something. These two canisters are quite heavy, and she looks a bit knackered. Maybe she's been carrying them some way and has just stopped for a rest and is then going to stagger on with them.
She might be a bit nervous if she's nicked them. Of inquiry.
You'll notice she's got one of those sort of Dairy Maid's yokes. So she's obviously been sort of carrying them, yeah.
Okay, I think I'm just going to approach fairly openly and be reasonably upfront about it and say, those look heavy. Do you mind if I just sit here next to you for a minute?
Sure. Have you got any arash?
I haven't, but is there somewhere nearby that I could buy some from?
She says, I've got a supplier. Well, as you can buy it quite openly, so why am I being?
Supplier, it's that shop over there.
Actually, she points to the coffee shop she's sitting. Kawa shop, I should say, that she's sitting outside. She points in there and says, "They've got good stuff in here. Tell them I sent you. My name is
It's an unusual name.
My name is made up.
Oh God.
I haven't got any stuff here. Yes. Afra, she says. My name is Afra, which is my character's name from the other campaign, but I'm running out of patience.
Okay, so well, wait here, Afra, don't go away. I'm going to go over to the coffee shop, keeping an eye on her as I go.
Yep.
And kind of just stand in the door of the coffee shop and try and buy some.
Yep. There's kind of menu board there.
Mm.
The various qualities. What you've got there will cost you some money. And the amount of money it will cost you is the amount of money I'm about to look up here, because there's the price for Arash in here, if I remember rightly. This is what our viewers watch this for. So watch to see me looking at the prices of stuff so they don't have to.
They might not want to bother seeing it's going to be something like 2, 3, 4, or 5 burr. So why don't you just charge us 1,000, because we're charging
25 burr. 25 burr, mate.
25. That's a bit overpriced.
We're charging it all to the judge anyway.
Expenses. Say, yeah. Can you just sign this expense form? Yeah. I mean, give me a receipt, please.
Of course. This is a legitimate business. He writes you a receipt for 25 burr.
Basically, what we need to do is go for.
Yeah, you make it 50 on the receipt.
Presumably, we can't, like buy alcohol on expenses. So what we do is we go and do a big meal and get them just to bring, a receipt just for the total cost. I've never done that in my
9 burr for a meal and no alcohol. You're speaking too much in the 21st century, mate. On a government salary with government expenses.
Not anymore. Back in the day, maybe, but not now.
Anyway, yeah,
then
you can buy that. She's still waiting for you outside.
I'll take it back to her. So
you can make a manipulation roll. Yeah.
A bonus for bribing her with Arash, surely?
No, it's at -2, but I'm giving you the no modifier for bribing her with Arash.
So that is a bonus.
No, 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, she says. She takes it from you and says, "So what brings you to town? You look more smartly dressed than most of the locals here."
Well, tell the truth now, and don't be alarmed when I tell you this. I'm a private detective. I'm looking for someone.
Oh, exciting! She says, like on the like in the proxy dens.
Well, they make up a load of shit in that. It's not really like that at all.
But
it's much more going around looking
memories?
Up. Sorry?
Aren't they people's recorded memories?
Well, I think they're embellished somewhat, aren't they?
Don't know about that. I thought they were gospel. True crime.
They are embellished about how much sex you tend to have as a private investigator.
Yeah, but being a private detective is more about, going looking at the prices of things as you go in books.
Yeah. Buying Arash for random people, that kind of stuff,
I couldn't help noticing what you're sitting on, those canisters of coolant.
These are my pension fund. I'm taking this to Marzu Kala Spaceport. Reckon I can sell these? She leans in close. 300 burr each.
300. That's a good day's work. Then, if you don't mind me asking, where did you get them from?
And she immediately kind of looks a little bit innocent.
Let me reassure you, I'm not here. I don't care if whatever they've come from, however you got hold of them, if they're stolen, whatever. I don't care about that. I'm not here looking after that. But knowing where they came from may help me in my investigation, looking for a missing person. So if you can help
them, she says, I found them in the fire that was on Pier 58. There was a fire there, and afterwards I went in. I thought nobody's going to want any of this stuff. It's all fire damaged.
I have to say those ones don't look too fire damaged. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, I did go in there after that fire, and there were many fire damaged candles in there, but they were pretty obviously fire damaged. These ones don't look. Let me reassure you again. I don't care where they came from. If you went and stole them from somewhere, that's fine. Good for you. Good luck with that. I don't care about that. I just need to find the person I'm looking for, and knowing where they came from may help me do that.
She's nervous here. She says, "Okay." He whispers you closer. I was paid them. A couple of Hassan's workers were looking for a place to hide. I knew a place to hide, and this is what they gave me in return.
That was Hassan's workers, was it?
Yeah. He's
I'm not actually there
in that warehouse.
I guess I'm listening over the intercom.
Yeah. What's that strange voice I hear out of nowhere?
So, and where
I
are they hiding out? You can.
Don't know that I should tell you.
Well,
I mean, they are hiding.
I'm not looking for. They're not the people I'm looking for. So, but it might help me to talk to them. You know, the rest of this, Arash, could be yours if you help me out here.
Okay, I've got a cousin, and a cousin does dog fights, and he's got a place, and she describes it, gives you an address, and describes it as a basement storage in a condemned building in Dignitary City. They're there.
And what are they hiding from? I'm nudging Tony.
And what are they hiding from?
What are they hiding from? Sorry, 1980s splitting image joke. Most people won't get it.
They're scared. I reckon people are after them. That fire, they think it was deliberate.
And do you know their names?
No, she doesn't know their names, but she says, you want to get in there? And she fishes that in front of her camise, and she pulls out and pulls over her head a little talisman. This can get you in there. And she opens the palm up, and you can see it's an icon of the gambler, and it's yours. It's yours for 10 more burr.
It's a steep price.
They're still there as far as I know.
Well, thank you, Afra.
10 burr. 10
burr. There you go. I'm going to give it another 10 burr. Go on then. There you go. Another 10
She drops the talisman in your hand, takes the burr and says, "Sir, you never told me. I never told you."
No, I didn't tell you. That is true. I didn't tell you anything. No, you didn't tell me anything.
And then she stands up, all businesslike, hoists the yoke over her neck, and with these canisters swinging from each arm of the yoke, she scurries off into the crowd.
Okay, let it go. Report back to Oshian, although she was listening anyway, apparently.
So that's the Dignitary City where Oshian is, actually. So so you can meet it says here that it is in a collapsed customs office on the border between the flooded Mabia and Dignitary City. I don't know where the flooded Mabia is.
It's to the west of Little Algol, it's on the map.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Mibia.
Yeah. So Dignitary City on that map. Do you want me to bring the map up?
Yeah, I can't see it. Did you just take a screenshot of it, Tony, or something?
I can share a screen.
No, I've got a copy of it. I don't know. Can't remember where I got it from.
I sent you both copies, actually, I think.
That's probably where I got it from then.
Let me just open it up, though, because I haven't got it open.
And it might be useful for our viewers to have a quick glance as well.
Yes.
That's the only reason you're pretending that you had forgotten that you've got a file. That's very good of you.
I know. I'm so thoughtful.
And let's put that on screen view, and then let's go back here and share the screen. Let's close share screen sharing because it can't see it still, and press share screen sharing again. And there we go. Share that screen. So Mabia is here. This is the Dignitary City generally.
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking around the coastal side of the Dignitary City on this side, or the river side.
And is that kind of where Dol-Cassar's palace is?
It's not. So Dol-Cassar's palace is elsewhere in Dignitary City, probably somewhere in here, near the park. But the map's not really that detailed.
No, that's fine. Okay. So we've got a sense of where this place, and it's a derelict building, she said.
Yeah, so it's an old customs house.
And we need this gambler icon to get in.
Well, she indicated that would ease your passage in there, yes.
Mm. And did she say anything about what this is? Why are they hiding here? Why do we need this thing to get in? Who controls
dog
this?
fights. It's her cousin who runs dog fights.
Right.
Which presumably are probably still illegal around here. So
are they illegal, Matt?
I'm assuming they are, because this is in a basement in a disused building.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not exactly a fancy sign saying dog fights here.
Yeah. Fair enough.
And they're dog fights, for God's sake. Although I do have to tell the story of my friend George Brunskill's wife. We went to the Isle of Wight some years ago, and they were packing up the fun fair at this sort of tourist attraction. It's kind of the last day of the season, and very few of the rides were working, but the simulator was. And we went in the dogfight simulator and had a wild time in a
dogfight simulator,
zooming around.
Oh, like dogfight,
yes.
not a fight between dogs.
Dogfight. George's girlfriend at the time, now wife, came out going, "Oh, it's not what I thought it was going to be."
Let's take little Johnny, spend the 50p and go and see the dogs fighting. Oh, the dogs are dead. Oh my God.
Anyway, that's a lovely anecdote.
It was a lovely anecdote, yes.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, okay.
So the entrance is kind of semi-hidden under a collapsed colonnade surrounded by shacks and huts. And there is a very conspicuously large Sadalan bouncer hiding in the shadows. She's got a scarred face and tattoos. That anybody want to make a culture roll?
Yeah, why not?
Give it a try. Why not? It's only 4 dice, but better than nothing. Nope, no idea at all.
No, not a clue about those.
Okay, right.
Tattoos, no.
Well, she's a big scarred person. I urge you, Dave, GM to player, don't try and grab her by the throat and throw her up against the wall. That's what I'm saying.
I'm kind of learning that as an opening gambit isn't always the best one to go for.
But
okay.
What are you doing?
I think we should approach like we mean it. You know,
yeah, like we
Here for the dog fights.
We come to dog fights every week. Yeah. Regular patrons got the talisman.
I ain't seen you before, she says in a very deep voice.
This was recommended to us. A friend of mine called Afra recommended the place. She gave me this. Yep, she gave me this.
And you show her the talisman, and that is like a magic door. She says, "Well, welcome, honoured guests." And she opens the door and allows you in. You can hear quite a bit of noise. There's a long, dimly lit corridor, but there's light at the end of it. And you realise as you get nearer the end of the corridor, this is a 2-level basement. And you're coming out into a sort of arena on the upper level. And then there's stairs. This was a big customs warehouse. So, stuff was stored here, waiting for tax to be paid, but it's all been cleared now, and there's quite the crowd in here. And in the center there are indeed steel cages where there are dogs actually in the act of fighting, and a crowd of people around the dogs, around the cages, shouting and betting.
So we think these guys are hiding in a basement here. That's what she said, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I guess this whole thing is in the basement.
Right.
All the dog fights are in the basement, but you did say it's a 2-level basement. So is the actual dog fighting on the lower?
You're looking down from the upper level now.
Right.
So it's all happening down there. You're overlooking everything. You can see there used to be very ornate sort of excise desks where people would pay their taxes, and they've got a kind of checkerboard pattern on the top, but they've been turned into a bar and moved from probably upstairs where they used to have pride of place in the foyer of this building. There's a few rows of low benches where there are visitors sitting down away from the fighting, having a drink and a smoke, or nearer the fighting, sitting and watching the fight.
Have we got anything to go on about who these guys are? Anything to identify them?
Apart from the fact that they were stevedores in Hassam's employ.
Working for Hassam, yeah.
In hiding, so they're probably not wearing the company uniform with the Hassam logo.
No. Is this place really busy? Is it like really crowded, or is it? And is it so noisy that you can't hold a conversation, or is it?
No, you can have a conversation there.
Right.
Nearer the cages, maybe
a bit less so.
A bit noisy there, but particularly on this upper level here, where there's people wandering around, and there's round this upper level, there are cages with dogs that are kind of being appraised by bettors that that might be involved in the current fights. This is, if you like, the paddock area.
Yeah,
you can call it such. So it's definitely quieter up here. It's a bit noisier down there and in the middle. But even at the bar, which is quite close to the fighting, you could make yourself heard there quite easily.
So obviously, Afra knew enough to know that these people were here. So there's obviously rumours going about. So I guess
she paid.
She hid them. She
them to her cousin who runs this place.
Yeah, so she brought them here.
Okay. And her cousin runs this place.
Yeah. She'd probably given you his name. I don't think I'd said that at the time.
I guess we want to.
But he's Shamood.
Shamood.
I guess we probably want to find him, don't we? And have a quiet word.
Yeah, so I guess we should just have a little casing of the joint first. Seeing if we can spot the guy obviously in charge, but also just see if these stevedore guys are around as well. I guess they might be behaving potentially a bit differently from the normal patrons. Yeah. They might be looking a bit more nervous.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing. Let's make a make a bit of an entrance, as in just sort of like march boldly in, not trying to, so everyone sees us coming, and look around to see if anybody is looking around at us in a particularly worried kind of way, because we are obviously new faces here, and we're making the point of just marking straight into the middle of it all.
So make a manipulation roll, I think, if you're trying to act the big man.
Well, we're both doing that together, aren't we? So
Yeah,
can I make
best at manipulation? Do that with the other person helping with one dice.
That's one jolly good, because I'm crap at manipulation.
But you've got manipulation, have you, Dave? Do you have
no, I don't. I just have empathy for that.
Right. Okay. It's all up to you then, Tony. No
Okay.
Yeah. Although, sometimes I've known to be good at manipulation. On this occasion, I'd probably better push this.
Sorry?
I'm going to push.
Well, I'll tell you what. Don't push this one.
Okay.
We'll be pushing manipulation a bit later on.
Okay.
What you notice then is the effect is somewhat more nervous than Dave wanted. As you stride in, looking like you own the place, there are loads of nervous eyes looking at you. So you're not going to single out just two stevedores. Everybody's looking at you nervously.
Talking of interesting anecdotes, when I did a investigation course with customs many years ago, and one of the exercises was actually in a block of flats which are all offices, and as we were knocking down the door of the place that was the exercise, which had a customs officer in there who was role playing the bad guy, down the corridor, all the doors opened. These rat-faced little blokes looked out. Oh, went shit. Went back in again.
Somebody called it for flashing
all of them all running away. Maybe we should actually have knocked on some of those doors, maybe. Anyway,
yeah, it's like that. It's pretty much like that. There are already people kind of edging out and stuff like that, and there's definitely nervous faces there. There's the talking is in Algolan, which I don't think either of you speak. Am I right?
Would Tony speak it, having grown up in Little Algol?
He grew up in Ara.
It's the posh area next door.
Right,
make a culture roll, Tony, if you want to see if you can understand it.
I will.
Can I try a culture roll as well?
Oh, I do have a house rule. Which is you can declare so you're Zenithian, aren't you? Both Zenithian.
Well, I'm from Menkar, so I'm first come.
But you both know Zeni.
But I live as a Zenithian.
How many culture points have you got, Dave?
I've got one in my skill, so 4 in total.
Right. So for that one, you also know, of course, Menkar, which is your native one. How many culture points have you got, Tony?
I have 1 point in the skill plus.
So you so far have one undeclared language which you can claim to know, and if you want to make it Algolan, you can.
Well, I might as well, might I, in the circumstances?
Is that a
language that would normally be spoken commonly in Little Algol?
What Little Algol? Do they speak Algolan? I think there's every chance. Have you ever been to Little Italy in New York? Have you been to Chinatown?
So that's the language I speak then in that case.
Okay, so they don't know that you know it, but you can hear them whispering, and what do you make out? They seem to be very suspicious of you because of what happened earlier and what they found in the cages.
What they found in the cages?
Yeah.
And I get a sense from what I hear of
what they found in the cages. That's the general muttering.
They don't want to end up like what they found in the cages.
Yeah, so they're connecting you with what they found in the cages earlier today.
And was that 2 mutilated bodies? Possibly.
Well, If you're going to try and talk to them, Tony, you're going to make, now they're all nervous, you're going to need a manipulation test at -2.
So I think, Tone, you could probably show that just...
Well, no, I'm going to give that to you, given that you speak Algolan. If you speak to them in Algolan, I won't give you that negative.
And you could just have the icon thing in your hand and let it drop so they can see that, you know, we haven't broken in kind of thing. We've been invited.
Yeah. I am going to talk to them. I'm going to say, yeah, I can hear you all worried, but whatever happened, nothing to do with us. What did happen? What you talk about? What happened in the cages? What you found in the cages? What did you find in the cages? And I get 1 success.
1 success. Okay. So Shamud comes and introduces himself, takes you back upstairs and says, things are a little bit sensitive here right now. Everybody's nervous.
Is he speaking steady now? Or are they still talking Algolan?
I think he's probably talking to you in Algolan, Tony.
Okay. So I can't understand any of this.
No. But you can follow. I mean, he's accepted you as Tony's companion.
Yeah.
He said we had a couple of kind of, shall we say, informal lodgers staying with us these last couple of days.
Were those, by any chance, stevedores formerly in the employ of Hassam, Nabi Hassam?
If you know them, I have bad news for you, my friend.
And I didn't know them, but I was hoping to have a chat with them.
They're talking with the icons now. You need to...
What happened? What happened to them?
I don't know, but found them in the cages and with a dog. And, you know, we keep the dogs hungry. So there's not much of them left.
Is there any of them left that we can examine?
Well, I guess I'd probably be translating.
No, really. I mean, nothing I wanted to keep here. It's not like I'm going to invite the Nestara around to investigate this place. And seriously, they were bones and they were bits of flesh.
How did they get in the cage then, in the first place?
I don't know. I keep the cages locked, of course. These are dangerous dogs.
Because presumably, you know, no people can't just wander in here.
I like to think not. But,
without,
you know,
without an invitation.
We go until dawn, then generally we go and sleep, and I come here after midday to open up again. So sometime in the early hours of this morning, between when we left for prayer and somebody came in here, I think killed him, put him in a cage, destroyed the evidence. Maybe put them living in the cage.
And they were
Not a nice way to go.
They were the only 2 people here. Nobody else was here that could have seen something or heard something.
No, we're not a 24-hour operation here, he says. We do like to sleep. We've got families.
Do you have any kind of security here, like cameras or anything?
This place?
Well, just a question. You've got a lot of
my clients don't like their photos taken.
No, that's fair enough. You've got a lot of valuable dogs here. I'm surprised you leave them alone. Somebody will come in and nick them, surely.
You can try.
Yeah, well, you can control them, so somebody else can.
I don't know. These are all individual owners. I run the place. I don't own the dogs. I keep clear of that myself. I think it's a totally cool sport.
But people control the dogs, so somebody could come in and steal them all. So it feels slightly...
Yeah, they come in generally when I'm here.
The dogs don't necessarily live here, then, do they?
The place is locked.
So the place is empty of dogs and...
No. The dogs are here overnight, or the dogs are here over the morning when we're gone. We lock it up. The owners come in around the time shortly after I do.
And these 2 guys were staying here on their own, keeping their heads down because they were concerned about their safety. Rightly so, obviously.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it. Are there any remains? Did they leave anything? Where were they sleeping? Can we check that out?
Yeah, can we just have a look at the scene, see if we can pick up anything?
Have they got bedrolls or something, bags that we can look at?
Well, they came without very much. I gave them some blankets and stuff. You can look at that. And he takes you to actually another dog cage that was left open and is empty. And you can see a couple of sort of bedrolls there. And he stands by the gate while you.
So this is where they were sleeping.
Yeah. I mean, it's not much, but you know, they were desperate. Toilets are close by.
And do you know what their names were? Where they lived originally?
Nah. I promise not to ask their names. I mean, you know, we all know who they're working for.
Yeah, but was working for. Were working for.
Working.
On both ends of the scale.
I reckon Hassam had soured her relationship with the slumber prince.
And
old Kassar, he's going up in the world. Maybe he doesn't want to have low life attention, but it's a bit cruel.
What do you know about Dol Kassar?
I know enough that to keep my business out of his hands, but that's about it. He's a slaver.
Well, yeah.
Trying to become a legitimate person.
Do you know?
He's a businessman, as they say.
Do you know where he runs his operations from? We've seen his
palace, generally.
He runs it all from his palace.
Yeah.
Right.
So that warehouse that burned down, that was a Hassam warehouse, wasn't it? Not his.
Yeah.
Sorry?
I said the warehouse that burned down, that was Hassam's warehouse, wasn't it?
Not Dol Kassar's, no. I mean, I'm not saying Dol Kassar burned it down. Don't get me wrong. Don't start spreading a rumor that I said that Dol Kassar was taking out a ticket on Hassam.
Where would Dol
speculating? You and I, we're chewing fat here.
Yeah. Don't worry. We won't say anything inopportune. No fears on that score. But
where would Dol Kassar keep his slaves? Surely there must be word on the street that.
Well, he moves them through generally.
Yeah, but they don't hang around in the air, do they? When they're here, where do they?
Yeah, well, so as far as I'm aware, and this is only what I've heard on the street. I'm just looking back for stuff you might have heard on the street. You know the Souk Habra?
Yeah.
There's a white barge there.
A barge?
A big barge in the Souk Habra, widest one there. It hasn't moved anywhere, so don't know whether it could fit down some of these channels now, what with the lack of dredging that's going on. Anyway, that's the slave market. So a bunch of the lower market slaves, he moves through there. The rest, I'm hearing he's got a special client somewhere. Don't know where they go. But you could maybe find some more at the slave market. Or, he says, as far as I'm aware, Tuba Gutan's still hasn't been got, I've heard.
Do you know where
she used to be these guys' foreman.
Do you know where she could be found? Has she sought salvation here at any point?
No, she hasn't. But she's got lots of friends. She's a respected name in the Kabul district.
Where's the Kabul district?
Is
that just part of Little Algol?
I think it's part of Little Algol, yeah.
Yeah.
She's got lots of friends. She didn't need to come to me for so.
She's disappeared as well, has she? She's gone off the grid.
That's what the rumour is. Somebody out to get her.
Well, yeah, somebody does seem to be out to get any former associates of Nobi Hassam, don't they?
Mm. And usually about 10 minutes before we turn up to talk to them. Can you get a message to Tubra for us?
Well, I'm not her closest friend, but maybe. What do you want me to say?
Well, we want to preserve her welfare, and we want to talk to her. We are looking for a missing person, and we think they've probably come through Little Algol, probably courtesy of Dol Kassar, and we want to try and find out where they may have gone. And we hope that she might be able to help us. We're not interested in finding out where she's hiding out or anything. We just want the opportunity to talk to her.
Tell you what, he says. I'll see what I can do. You come back here tomorrow morning. Well, not morning. I sleep in the morning. You come back here first thing afternoon, and I'll see what I can tell you. Or maybe have her here myself, or maybe some representative of hers.
Do I get the sense that I can trust him? Can I do an observation?
Do you want to make a roll on that, or you?
Yeah, I'll do an observation.
Yeah, I could always.
We can save that for the moment, but let's try. I've got 7 dice, so I might do quite well. Or alternatively, I might do very badly.
So while you're talking to him, then I'll just kind of stand back and also, although I need to translate, unless he's kind of.
You're doing the translation for most of this conversation. Oh no, he's probably turned into
Zenny.
Yeah, because he would speak that
for this one. Much prefers to talk in first come though. Bit suspicious of you.
Well, I'll say a few words.
No, this is what you're learning from observation.
All right, okay.
He's a bit suspicious of Oshian because Oshian appears so Zenithian. But you're speaking Algol, Tony, so he's more trusting of you. But as far as you can see, he's telling the truth. He'll do his best. He's not making promises, but he'll do his best, and he's pretty confident that he can have somebody here to talk to you by noon tomorrow.
Okay. What do we want to do in the mean? Do we want to go and see a bit more about the wedding then, whilst in the meantime? Tone?
Yes, I guess so. Well, I'm not sure what about the wedding.
No. Okay, I'm going to thank Shamud with a time-honoured Menkari thank you greeting, thank you salutation. So he'll know for sure that's a first come language, Menkari.
Okay. He's not.
I thought it was the time-honoured greeting of grabbing him by the throat and shoving him up against the wall.
That's for later, maybe.
This is how we say goodbye on Menkar. And it's also how we say hello on Menkar. We're like Hawaii in that way. Kia fucking ora.
Yes.
No. Yes, he you may be earning a little bit of trust with him there by proving to be not quite as Zenithian as he thought.
The other thing is to go and check out this barge at Sukhabra.
Slave market. Yeah.
And whilst we're so just again, so presumably my recce of the palace didn't really tell me very much other than.
The security seems to be pretty tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to wander in. You're going to need
climb over
some form of invite or job or something.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Souk Habra, and I want to do the same with the barge at Souk Habra.
Do the same? What do you mean?
As in recce it for the security around it.
Security here seems to be remarkably lax. People are coming and going as you please. You'll notice that
off the barge.
Yeah, there are some heavies sort of looking inconspicuous in the crowd and on the boats around the barge, keeping a lookout for Nestora guardsmen, at which case or any sort of illegal activity would stop. But people seem to be coming and going as they please. Nobody's credentials are particularly being checked on the way in.
And does it appear that the barge is being used as kind of a slave auction house?
Yeah.
So is that pretty openly then? It's not.
It's a wide decked barge. It's not even inside. It's on the deck.
It's being done on the deck. Okay, so there's no pretense of secrecy or subterfuge.
Do you want to make an observation roll, Dave?
Yep.
Can I help?
Okay.
Is it to avoid a sneak attack?
No.
Oh, fuck off. Okay, I'm pushing that. I'm going to give you a darkness point. I've rolled about 20 dice and got a single success so far. Okay, I get 2 successes that time.
Okay. So as you look at the sort of arena, the deck where this is all happening, there's a sort of makeshift stage on the deck with a couple of crates with a rug on top. Slaves seem to be kept below decks in the barge, and a couple of people bring up 1 or 2 at a time, get them standing on the carpet on top of the crates, and the bidding goes on. It's not quite as open as but around that there's some conversations, and you recognize there are some people kind of doing the selling and others are doing the buying. But actually, for your second success there, you notice a little boy that you recognize. Some weeks ago in playing time, but probably only days ago in game time, the last thing you saw pretty much before you left Kura was your friend, the journalist, challenging the Judicator on the origin.
You mean Coriolis?
Yeah.
And she'd gone through that, and there'd been a number of. She started off that package with a pre-recorded package, which said, here are some of the people that are missing, and one of those is a photograph. The image you saw of a boy there, you can now see that boy standing on the things being sold
as a slave. Okay.
He's in the middle of the stage. His face is dirty. He's crying. His arm looks wounded and it's wrapped in a dirty bandage. Yeah.
Can I walk up onto the barge?
Mm-hmm.
And what's the bidding going for this boy at the moment?
The bidding is not so difficult. Make a manipulation test -1.
Sorry, say again. You broke up there.
Make a manipulation test -1 to get an idea of what you think the price is.
Well, can I not hear it?
No, it's all being done, as I say, sort of sotto voce.
Right, okay.
You've got to get in on conversations.
Manipulation -1. Oh, that's a grand total of 2 dice.
Okay.
For help.
Can Tony help me, or can he do
have
it?
You got the skill?
Tony's got manipulation.
Yes.
Okay. Have you got the dice or just the stat?
Okay. I've got just the stat.
Okay, you can't help him. So, Tony, all on your own?
Yeah, okay. Fine. You get more dice that way anyway, Tony.
Yeah, that's six dice. I said 6 dice. I get 3 successes.
3 successes.
Yeah.
Okay. You reckon if you were to put
how many slaves have I bought accidentally?
50 burr on the table now?
Sorry, how many?
50 burr on the table now, before anybody else bids, you can take him away.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
50 for the boy.
You want a receipt for that? He laughs.
A receipt for 100, please.
No receipts on this barge, he says.
The other person with him, you said there were 2 at a time.
You don't recognise at all, and they don't seem to know each other.
Right, okay, fine. So we'll leave them to their fate then, shall we?
Yeah, we'll just save the one that we saw on telly once.
Well, he might be a mystic, mightn't
he? Yeah, quite likely.
Yeah, so how many slaves have you got for sale? I might have somebody interested in a big order.
To the guy doing the selling?
Yeah.
Again, he's somewhat distrustful of.
I'll say it in Menkari. I'll say it in Menkari first.
He says, "Well, if somebody wants to place an order, we can gather the slaves."
How long would it take to? What will be the delivery time between the order being put down and the slaves being delivered?
What do you call a big order? And what sort of work do you want? Is it mining? Is it wet work?
Can be various.
Is it sex?
3 figures.
3 figures in slaves, you're talking?
In numbers, 100. Yeah.
It would take some time.
How long?
I'd have to find out, but we're probably talking a novena or more. Might take the whole segment.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, we know he hasn't got hundreds on board then. So they'll take the boy.
Okay. Do you want to make a culture roll, one of you?
Can you both try?
I'll let you both try. I wouldn't normally, but I'll let you both try.
2 successes.
3 successes.
All right, Tony, you're the one that remembers the name that the journalist mentioned. Notice I'm not remembering the name of the journalist.
I've probably got it written down somewhere in my very badly organised notes.
Yeah, but this boy is called Nalad Sindalara.
Nalad Sindalara. And how old is he?
He looks possibly younger than he is because he's kind of malnourished. I have no idea how old he is, but I'm thinking sort of 9 or something like that.
Oh, really quite young then.
Yeah.
You're best at manipulation, so do you want to tell him that he's safe?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, so you're not actually going to keep him as a slave then? Just clarify that.
Well, he's very safe as a slave with us.
As long as he does what he's told at all times, he'll be.
No, I was thinking we might emancipate him. I was thinking once he'd obviously given us the right information we need. I mean, after we fed him up and had him given a health check, and he's well enough. Maybe there's a reward for his. Presumably, he must have a family up on Coriolis somewhere.
Well, I'll ask him about that as I'm talking to him. I'll say, "Look,
is there a reward for you?
Is there a reward? If not, you're going back, mate. Because I bet we can. If we go and sell it somewhere else, I bet we get more than 50 and make a profit on you." No, I'm not saying that, obviously. I mean, we're telling him he's safe, that we're not buying him as a slave, we're releasing him. I'm going to ask him about, has he got family on Coriolis to go back to?
He sobs and says, yes, he wants to go back to Coriolis.
Well,
But I will, given we're slightly running short of time, I will tell you what he says rather than force you to make the conversation. So he's reassured you buy him a meal or something like that.
We'll take him to your aunt's for safekeeping for the moment, maybe.
Okay, you want to do the questioning at your aunt's?
Yeah, somewhere where he's going to feel safe.
Okay.
I think that's not a bad idea.
And where we're going to feel safe.
Well, yeah.
I'm keeping my as we're leaving, Matthew, I'm keeping my eyes open for anybody who might be showing any interest in us or the boy.
Okay, you notice that the slaver who you spoke to has put somebody on your tail. I'm not even going to make you make an observation roll for that.
Okay. Just one person, is it?
Yeah. To escape that person, you'd want to do an infiltration roll.
I think I want to confront this person. So can I do an infiltration roll so we can get round a corner and then Yaqub and the boy can disappear and I can be there to basically as he comes around the corner. I'll have my baton drawn. So infiltration is going to be 6 dice, I think. Oh no, only 5. Okay. And I get 3 successes.
Okay, let's just see whether he spots the trap. He's a big man. No, he walks right into it. Comes down the corner, face to face with you.
And I've got my baton in my hand and say, "Yeah, what the fuck do you want?"
He surprised by this. It takes him a moment to recover. Says, "Nothing," and turns around and
I'm stopping him leaving, saying, "Why are you following me?"
Okay, I think I need to make a melee roll for that.
Okay, I'm not trying to hurt him. I'm just trying to stop him leaving.
Right. So, but I think you're going to need to make a melee roll and get more than one success so that you can spend.
Okay. Can I use my baton with the side handle bit to pull him back?
Yeah, you can use that to stop him.
It's extra dice.
It will be a contested roll because he's quite a strong man.
Yeah, I get 1 success.
He's got 1 too, so you'd need to push it to grab him.
Okay, let's push it.
Well, you need to push it get a success.
I'm not trying to grab him. I'm just trying to stop him and force him to talk to me.
Okay, he's going unless you push it.
Yeah, all right, I'll push it. And I get another success. Excellent.
Okay.
So 2.
So you've kind of got him not quite in a grapple, but you've hold him.
Yeah, and I'm watching out for any
he says.
I'm watching out for any sneaky knives he's going to take out and stab me in the stomach.
No, he's not going to do that. I think he will.
So I'm saying to him, it's very impolite to follow somebody, especially in a place like this, when people can be a little bit nervous. Why are you following me?
He's going to try and break your grip and just run.
Okay. Hey, do I have permission to gun him down? No, probably not really.
No, I would advise against it if I was there, which I'm
3
not.
successes. Do you want to do a
I haven't rolled yet, but I got 5 dice, so I'll give it a try. So this is just to break the grapple, isn't it? Because I've got
this is to break the grapple, yeah.
No, I failed to do that.
Okay.
But I'm going to hit him then.
Right. Shall we move into make a melee roll?
Initiative, yeah.
Yeah, initiative. I'm assuming, Tony, you're just going on to your aunt's with the child.
Yes, I think that's what was happening.
Okay.
With the boy.
Yeah, okay. I dropped that on the floor. So I got 3 for initiative.
Okay,
with the
you go first.
I get no bonus for the baton. So I'm going to whack him with the baton.
Okay.
And say, "You're going to talk to me?" Whack. This might be a really stupid idea, Tone, mightn't it? I might let him run. I miss.
You miss.
I'm not going to push.
He You were going to go wide anyway, but he parries quite easily and goes.
Okay, I'm keeping an eye on him and saying, I'm not going to forget you. I won't let you off so easy next time.
Right.
And then I'm going to just disappear.
He's a big guy, but he was as scared as you were. And
I wasn't scared. So he wasn't scared. Shit, he wasn't scared. That's not good.
He was more scared of you than you were of him, like a spider.
Maybe did he notice I had 3 long-barreled weapons under my caftan?
I don't think, possibly, but he wasn't staying around for an argument.
No, okay.
So you catch Tony up.
Yep.
And head off back into.
Did you get anything?
Park.
Did you manage to shake the tail? Did you get into a fight?
No, it's a small scuffle, but he, no trouble. Yeah, they didn't follow us now any further.
Well done.
No blood, no stab wounds today.
Nice.
I know, it's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, clearly the boys hearing all of this. Yeah, it's fine. No stab wounds today. It's okay. You're perfectly safe.
You're safe with us. Yeah, you're completely safe.
I am beginning to wonder how I'm managing to move about with 2 carbines and a rifle underneath my caftan. Clank, clink, clink. Maybe I need to be more selective in what I'm carrying.
What is your strength, mate?
I'm probably not carrying all that, am I? So, my strength is 6. So actually,
is 6.
You're at 6.
You
well,
can carry all that, then.
3 with 6.
Oh, you're in
right, so you got 6 slots.
Yeah,
and 3 of them are filled up with heavy weapons.
Yes, that's right. I can't carry anything else.
Right.
I'm probably not carrying all 3 guns walking around here, I suspect.
Can I get one of you to make an observation test?
Shall I?
I would recommend the person who's best at it, and the other one can help if they have observation.
I have 6 dice of observation, and
I have 7.
Okay,
you get if it's a surprise thing, I also get +2.
It's not a surprise attack.
No, okay.
So I can help though. So take another one.
So I get 8 dice. I get 1 success. Do you think this is
I
one
think that's all you need.
Okay, good. Don't need to. I'm making sure that someone isn't going to do a long distance shot and kill the boy before we get to talk to him.
No, that's fine. You're home
again.
You're back at Tony's aunt. Not Tony's aunt, obviously. At his aunt. And she's prepared dinner, and you're all sitting around the table. Dave, you notice that the boy's legs are thumping against something under the table, and you pull back your chair to see what it is. It's a box that you are pretty sure wasn't there in all the other visits.
What kind of box?
It's kind of a cardboard box.
Cardboard box. Anything else about it that?
It's suspicious, is what it's about.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing that.
The boy's little foot kicks against it again.
Okay.
You know what little boys are.
I'm saying to him, please stop kicking the box. And everyone get out of the room.
This is my aunt's place. We're back at my aunt's place, yes.
And the boy...
so this aunt, whose name I've forgotten already, I'm very close to, that box, where did that come from?
It wasn't here this morning.
So you don't know how it got there?
No.
Okay, let's all back out of the room then, as Oshian suggests.
Can I use infiltration or something, or technology to look at this thing without setting it off?
Well, it's funny. I'm just looking at this thing now, and it seems such an obvious thing. And it says, if they don't notice it explodes, it does this sort of damage. If they do notice it, so make a proposal. How are you going to look at this box, Dave? Use your player imagination.
I'm going to look at it carefully. So I'm going to use my technology skill, and I'm going to just analyze the box and try and open it carefully. Obviously, looking for anything that might be mechanical or a trigger or a tripwire or something.
Okay, go ahead.
This is one I suspect I want to succeed. So, do I get extra dice for my tools?
Do you get extra dice for your tool, Dave? Not in most games. Oh, you mean your toolkit? Yes, of course you do.
I did say
that kind of comedy that people are watching for, isn't it?
That's the sort of comedy
utter hilarity.
Audience appreciate.
I'm waiting until everybody else is out of the room before I do this.
Okay, yeah.
And I gain 2 successes.
Right. So you open the box carefully.
I obviously want to disarm anything that's in there.
Yes, I think for 2 successes, you see that it is a bomb. What's labelled here is a triple satchel charge. So obviously Richard Ancoya thinks that the explosive rules in this are a bit pants anyway. And
Yeah.
However, I think for your second success, it's a relatively simple switch, which you can disarm.
Right, I will.
By cutting a wire.
Can I claim the explosives? Is it like plastic explosive or something?
You're going to carry those.
Well, I want to keep them, so I might use them in the future against the person who tried to use them on me.
Effectively, it's 3 satchel charges.
Okay, cool. Is there anything in that could imply? Is there a particular kind of style of construction that is kind of well known? Is it like military style, or it's pretty homemade? I'm assuming so. It's kind of like a homemade bomb rather than a military.
Yes. Well, it's made with a certain degree of skill.
Okay.
Not an amateur. But
right.
Quite a simple bomb. They weren't really expecting you to discover it.
Well done to the little boy. We haven't asked him. Have we asked him? We haven't asked him.
No, because you said let's take him home. And so I did the thing. Shall we finish the... I should have finished actually with the... And the boy's foot kicks the box. And then we'll come back next week. But I'm no good at these cliffhangers.
The box looks like a bucket.
So, yeah. After you've dealt with the bomb... I'm
just going to quiz my aunt about whether there were any kind of deliveries or anything when she'd seen around.
She noticed. Oh, there was a fortune teller came by, door to door. Little old lady.
There was a fortune teller outside the place where Hassan was killed, wasn't there?
There was.
There may have been. Who wants to make an observation roll to see whether her description fits the description of this fortune teller?
Yeah.
Oh, sod it. Yes, it does.
Well, can I remember what she looked like?
Well, that's what the observation roll was going to be about. But yes,
because we were going to go running after her.
Yeah, and I seem to remember you saying I'm looking very carefully at her as she goes off. So I'll give you that one for free. Nalad Sindalara tells you about what he can remember of his experiences here. He was waking up in a dark basement in a stasis pod. And he remembers a woman. He's kind of finds it difficult to describe her face, but he remembers very clearly that she was wearing a green shawl. And he remembers there being a lot of pods in this basement. And
was that before or after he'd been asleep in the pod?
After. This is waking up from the pod is what he's remembering. And he remembers being examined by this woman. who then muttered, and he hadn't hurt his arm. He's very clear to say he hasn't hurt his arm. But she said she wrapped his arm up with a bandage. And she said, and he remembers this, and it's almost like it was so drilled into him that he remembers exactly the words she said. Your fate in Sky City would be much, much worse than if you go to the markets. Do not take off these bandages. And so he hasn't taken off the bandages. Then, when she'd got him there, he was taken upstairs into a very fancy room, and he was shown to a very well-dressed man who sighed and waved him off, and he got taken back down to the basement and then out to the barge where he's been for the last day or two.
I'm going to ask him, did he have any strange experiences or weird dreams, or did funny things happen? So it sounds as if he got scooped up, but then was considered to be non-mystic and was then just sold as a slave.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's not agreeing, but I'm agreeing. That's the correct assumption.
Yeah. And can he tell us who his family is? Because we now need to get away from your aunt.
Yes.
Because we are now creating a threat for her.
Absolutely.
Yes, he can probably tell you about his family. I'm sure I've read something about them, but they're not anywhere obvious. So,
alternatively, can we drop him with Yala Baku and get her to send him back to Bay Basin, and then we can take him back to Coriolis when we get back to the ship?
Possibly. You haven't made contact with Yala Baku yet. Shall we make that the adventure next time round?
Because we don't want to have this kid hanging around, and we don't just want to put him on a bus, do we?
No, and you could have left him with your aunt, except for the bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say we need to keep away from there now. Obviously, Kassar's people, assuming it's them.
Can we check the timing of the fortune teller from what Tony's aunt, Yaqub's aunt, says? Where do we think we were at that point that the fortune teller turned up? Had we bought the boy by then, or was this before we bought the boy?
She's not entirely sure, but from what you discuss, probably before. Quite early after you'd left.
Yeah, so it's not connected with us finding the boy. It's connected with everything else that we're doing. So I guess we're at some risk then, Tone.
Yes, undoubtedly. Well, I guess if we're going around,
I'll spend a couple of points for that experience, by the way.
Digging into Kassar's business, then, given that he's going around basically trying to cover up the whole mystic slave thing by killing everyone else involved with it, then we clearly are going to be put at risk.
I wonder if we've told the judge this, haven't we, or the judicator?
Yes.
So they know that we are looking into Dom Kassar. Yeah, we've said all that, haven't we? So if we die, then the trial won't go.
That is, you can be sure that justice will be done on your behalf if that bomb had gone off and you both died. Be assured of that.
Excellent. That would have been a really satisfying end to the campaign. Satisfying end for 26 weeks of role playing. Boom, you're dead.
23 so far.
Well, with the gaps as well, but yeah.
Crikey, that is half a year's worth.
It is, isn't it? Mm. And we haven't got bored yet, Tone. It's not bad going, Matt. Well done. Cool. Okay. But I think let's ship the boy off back to Bay Basin, and then we can buy him from the barge a bit later when he gets sent back down the river again and sold as a slave a second time.
I say it's probably worth going in to make contact with this Yala Baku person, because they might have information. Some useful information for us anyway.
So we'll do that before we go back to the dog fighting place.
Yes.
but I suspect we might want to go there cautiously.
Yeah, okay. Chances are we'll go there and everyone there will be dead.
Yeah, again. We go back to Coriolis and everyone there is dead.
Everyone who ever's met us or seen us or been, within a couple of 100 yards of us is dead. Brutally murdered.
Right, okay. I will put a marker in there and we will continue this, listeners.
Next time.
Same effect channel, same effect time next week.
Well done. Thanks, Matt. That's a really good close. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.